Hello YouTube vintage radio collectors. This is a rare one. This is a Roland W100 AM shortwave multiband radio, portable radio tube. It uses batteries, a 90 volt battery and a 9 volt battery. I don't have batteries in it right now, I'm just running it off the cord. And I picked this one up off eBay. And if most of you radio collectors haven't noticed, the prices have been coming down on radios very fast. I've done quite a few transoceanics, the RCA Strato World, which are a little more expensive than these, but it was expensive enough in its day. It was $99.95 US in its day. There was also a partnership between Electrohome in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, and Roland in Mount Vernon, New York, where they shared models and manufacturing. But this is the US version. I don't think this model was made in Canada, although the twin speaker clock radios, the first little transistor radios were made in Canada. But nonetheless, it's rare. And it actually had rolled up inside of it the original Roland operating instructions, little schematic on the back. And this is the only place it says Mount Vernon, New York. There's no other information on it. It has parts list, how to hook up the batteries, and on these you take the cord and plug it into a socket on the chassis, flips it over to battery use. It's a 5-tube chassis, so it has an RF stage, which I believe is a 1U4, and it has a 1L6, which is very similar design to the transoceanic, and it's instant on.
Paul, and that's when you call me during the week, and then I can buy it or
because of the low voltage batteries.
With it. Okay.
Now I'm in a high rise here, 15th floor, surrounded by steel and concrete. I'm getting a few stations.
Not bad. Good.
You know, because you're never like, hey, Rick.
And again, it's so important when people become parents. And
has nice tone, 2 4-inch speakers. Now I'll try in the shortwave mode. I wasn't getting much before, although last night the band was very lively. 6 megacycle to 18 megacycle. And some stuff around 10 megahertz. It's around 11:15 in the morning right now. I'm not getting too much. It's been aligned. It has a great telescopic antenna. All the sections work. It moves easily. It also has down here, you know, these little sections where it says Tokyo, London, Oslo. As you know, a lot of the shortwave stations are off the air now because they're using internet radio. But it has a really nice little map down here with the time zones. Quite a neat radio. I find it's so ugly, it's handsome. And it's got an actually nice case. I had to actually manufacture another leather handle. It was split in half. I went to a shoemaker that does leather repairs. I said, can you make me a handle? And they said, oh no, you need to go to a harness maker. That might be expensive. So I went to a store that sells kind of odds and ends for Len's Mill store. And I bought some leather and I made a new handle, 4 layers, glued it. And it's really solid. Looks great. It matches. The chassis was very difficult to work on. It's a compact one-piece chassis, very tight. A lot of components are buried. Completely redid all the electrolytic capacitors, so I replaced the can cap with a terminal strip and 4 capacitors. It had the beeswax coupling capacitors, quite a few in it, and every one was buried under 4 or 5 different leads. It was a lot of desoldering and resoldering. Then in the actual, there's several dropping resistors that take 120 volts, so you get a selenium rectifier, takes 120 volts AC, into about 115 volts DC. The slending rectifier had quite a bit of leakage in it, so it was dropping it down solo. The shortwave band wouldn't work, so I put in just a standard iron 4007 diode, 150 ohm dropping resistor, 5 watts. What I found was all the dropping resistors had drifted off spec, so I had to replace those, get the voltages right. So basically it runs about 90 volts DC inside the set. So that's where it's at now. I find if it sags down too far, it just doesn't work well.
For another couple, we're up here over this summer as well. All right, I'll talk to you later, and thanks very much.
Really strong audio on this set. It's a 3V4 output tube, which is only about 300 milliwatts, but with the twin speaker setup, it works really well. Has good acoustics with the wood cabinet. Did a little bit of re-gluing. The plastic escutcheon or lens, whatever you want to call it, had kind of fallen inside. So I re-glued that, cleaned it, polished it. Did a little repainting on some of the hardware, the brass hardware, to make it look nice. But you know what? I got it for 40 bucks, which isn't that bad. Put some on, a little bit of time in it more than money. And if you notice, same thing with these Transoceanics, what was a $300 set, they're going maybe $100 to $140. And ones that don't work on eBay, I've seen them go for 20 bucks. It's really changed the antique radio, and I haven't been doing as many lately, but this one caught my eye. I've never seen one actually in person. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening.